Hi, this is Chris Evans. In 2001, Emmanuel University asked me if I would bring a group of business people to go to their school in Romania to talk to their students. When I thought about who could come with me, Bill Breymaier was one of the first people I thought of. I'd gotten to know Bill almost 10 years earlier as we both served in the prayer ministry at Crossroads Fellowship. Each morning, early in the morning, I would go out and spend an hour praying over requests that had been submitted by members. And as I came out, Bill Breymaier would always be there waiting for me to take the next shift. And we spent a few chilly moments in the parking lot each day, each week, as we got to catch up with each other and learn more about each other and grow in our friendship. Over the years, I really came to understand Bill as a wise businessman and a wise Christian, and thought that he would be a terrific fit for this opportunity. When I first asked Bill to come, I could tell that he wanted to, but I could tell there was some reluctance. What I didn't know about was that Bill had some medical issues that would make it difficult for him to come. And when I was touched that he shared those with me, and as we talked through them, that he was willing to overcome them. It was also kind of a tense time. It was shortly after 9/11. We would be going there a little less than 6 months after the disaster of 9/11. And our families were a little bit nervous about us traveling, but I think we all felt the Lord's peace about going, and we had no problems going. When we got there, Bill was clearly the star of our team. The students really took to him. I thought that his wisdom was spot on and something that all the students identified with, and I could tell that he really enjoyed working with the small team of students that he spent the next day or so with, talking about the things that they're trying to solve in business, mentoring them, going to lunch and dinner with them, talking about their spiritual issues. And we just had a terrific time. And I know that he changed the students' lives that he met and touched, and he had a profound effect on my life as well, and I think on the school in general. Years later, I was going through the video that I took from that trip, and I came across a few segments that I'd captured of Bill teaching about business and giving his personal testimony. And I knew that his family, you, would want to have this. And so I put it together on this DVD. Honestly, I wish there was more of it and that it was of higher quality. The video was kind of shaky. There was the son of one of our speakers had come there, and he was operating the camera, and the battery ran out during Bill's testimony, and I think towards the end of Bill's presentation. And I'm deeply sorry for that. But I hope that you'll appreciate the parts that you did get. I know that for the folks that have had a deep impact on my life and the ancestors that I have and folks in my family, that I would treasure any of these kinds of moments to get an insight into who they are and how they talked about themselves and what they did. So I hope that this blesses you. So you may want to keep that in mind. That's the structure of the day. And Mr. Breymaier, take it away. Two different companies that we've had the opportunity to turn around. And so I forget who was on my team that said, turn around and either divest or liquidate. Who was that?
Oh, Mr. Choir.
There's a problem with
Dan sends out obnoxious emails, I know that already, and makes claims that he's getting married. I do want you to be mindful of, some of the rumors that might come up here, but he really, I was impressed with that. There was somebody that says, oh, I immediately know it was turn around, divest, or liquidate. Who was that?
There's Dan.
No, that Molly was yesterday. Generally, by producing. You know, from you've had these 3-year students out here, you had enough accounting. The more you put through the plant, the more you can put in the inventory. And you show up right. Right, Ken?
I love the producing part. Scott and I come in our industry change where everybody just hated the inventory and just slashed it. We're with you on the production. You just crank out that production.
Crank out that production.
You do 15 hours and that's how you do it. But we looked at each other simultaneously and said, no way.
And so this is the situation. Okay? This is, you now know more, perhaps, than I do. When I started. So, what action would you take? What's the problem here? Day one. That's as a matter of fact, this took me a while to learn some of these things. You've got it all. What do you do? Tell me the. I told you the situation. What would you attack first? What does this company need? Yes.
Good management.
Good management.
Relationships among managers.
But they certainly need some improved communication and relations, yes. So, first thing was change management. What else? Yes, Nelly? Become more credible. Change cost? I apologize. Gain trust. Oh, yeah. There was none. So, how are we going to do that? How are we going to become credible? How are we going to gain trust? What? Yeah, that's what some other people are saying too. Think about it, man. Let's look at that situation. And I'm sorry, I said the show was clear. What is one thing that jumps out at you that you would be able to become more credible and gain trust?
Maybe trying to, when you said over-promising, to reach some of the promise that was.
Over-promising. Try to.
To reach some of the promise that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Achieve. Objectives. Is that all right? promised that we were going to put this one production line in by November 1. What would you do? And you know, after you reviewed it with this engineer, and the engineer says, oh, it'll work. You know, I mean, we got everything, it's going, what would you do? Lavinia? Make it work. That's going to be his job, see. Remember, I don't know what it is, okay? So I'm going to make him get it done. But I'm going to double the time. I'm going to give basically, if we've got 10 major capital events, they say they're going to be done here. I say, no, we're going to get it done here. Because historically, every time they promised here and they came in here, they failed. You needed to win. And these people needed some credibility. Credibility? Become credible. So, there is one little item that you're missing on there. What does this business need out there in the marketplace? Nellie?
Motion.
No, I'm sorry. Nellie, you got it.
When we talk about the service levels,
Yes.
you said it has to be 85%.
So we've got to improve service levels. Okay. I knew I'd finally get the answer when we start off on the first. Chris?
Yes, sir.
She was really sharp. And finally, I looked for so long for that answer.
Good choice.
Okay. No, I'm
It says
my
action.
consultant here. That's. I appreciate it. We've got to improve service levels. I mean, if we don't improve service levels, it doesn't make any difference what we do. That's critical to the marketplace. Now, remember, I told you that management was force feeding production to Sheridan. Well, within Derby, we take these off there. You'll remember these, I'm sure, right? Okay. Good answer. I'm sorry. One thing that I failed to let you review, let's look at the organization. Turkey was broken into basically two divisions: Turkey Famous Foods and Turkey Industrial. This is the retail, and this is in the industrial portion. So this arm of the business had two customers. This is the supermarkets. They supplied internally spices that they would supply in bulk. The vice president of sales, remember, we were getting only 70% to industrial. And you can expect internally, they were upset. They were absolutely. So, management at the top, without getting down to see what's going on. Put more production in the Sheridan. is when you strangle the plant. And you know about that? Kenny, you ever get too much production?
Sure has.
Well, they weren't prepared for it, and they were transferring production into Sharonville and said, turn it out. Well, they weren't prepared. The engineering plan had already had gone up in dust. That they needed help. So, I'll never forget going down to Sharonville, and Scott, I appreciate, no, I don't know, Scott or Kenny, who had the crack in the wall? Okay.
Scott was in that middle of that driveway.
Well, I go down on my trip to Sharonville, first trip, and the head of this division comes down with me because he wants to know what's going on. How come we're not getting supply? And it's one of those days that it rains. And we're walking through the plant. I'm getting my first plant tour with the head of the industrial division. And it's leaking, you know, and this man, no question about it, was probably thinking, he better get the hammer and nails and nail this place shut. It was leaking, and we went to where they were putting the spices into the small cans for retail, but they had, since the humidity was so high, they had shrouded it with plastic to try to keep the humidity down. You filled by weight, not volume, and they couldn't give an ounce in an ounce can, you know, because the humidity had expanded. You know, the warehouse was just a disaster. But from my knowledge from the field, I deviate from Scott's just a little bit. My gut feel, okay? Because you're moving fast here, and you need to make quick action. My gut feel, we've got good management. They just need some help. So we sit down in the meeting, and I looked at this vice president, and I just said, Wally, tell us what you want, and we'll do it to you. Just that one statement. Wally, tell us what you want, and we. That meant I identified with all the rest of the people that had been beaten down at Sharonville plant. When I left 3.5 years later, the Sharonville plant gave me an industrial can about like this, that had written on it, Wally, tell us what you want, and we'll get it. I still have that. It was just one of those moments in time. So what I had to do was take all the production that they had transferred from another plant and move it back immediately. Because in the spice business, if you don't do your business in October, November, and December, you've lost your yield. And we were in August. We only had this amount of time. So we immediately put Bethlehem on overtime, and it was critical that we put them on overtime and let Sharonville breathe a little bit. One other thing, the cost. Somebody mentioned cost. Cost was exceedingly high. Now, what do you do to get cost? Where's the bulk of your cost in this business? Now, I'm going to I really came to faith at a very early age, led to Christ by my grandmother. My grandmother was a tremendous person of faith. Matter of fact, in 1923, she graduated from Union Bible Seminary in Westville, Indiana. And just a little side story to sort of put things in perspective. They had a farm, and she just felt the Lord leading. They had 4 children. They packed them all in the car with chickens on the top. You've seen things like this in the movies and Depression days. And they left the farm and went off to school. I took care of my mother, who was only 6 years old at the time. And she never got the chance to go to mission field. But she supported missions all her life. So she had a major, major influence in my life. My rest of the years, however, I wondered what I set my goal on achieving business success, and what that was. I really didn't know what was business success. My mother and father were divorced shortly after I came into the world, and I never met him until I was about 6 years old. But I want you to know that during all that course of time, I always felt the presence of God. I felt a sense of love from my family. And we didn't have any money. I think that's been sort of a common theme for people that was didn't have any money. We didn't have any money. We didn't have a car. But my aunt was always there with friendly advice. This was a person to get up and go, and she said, "Breymaier, I don't want you to work like this." Now, my uncle was a railroader, worked on the railroad. He says, "You need to get yourself a white-collar job." I said, "Okay." I didn't know what a white-collar job was, but I guess I got to get a white-collar job. And high school graduation came, and I was going to go to college. I didn't have any money. July came. School starts, as most of you know, in September. And by the grace of God, someone in our community had left a large sum of money, and the university thought they'd like to get a hold of some of that money, and sent a recruiter to town, and found out that there were 7 of us who didn't know what we were doing, working at the local.
Look at it all running up now. No, well, look, there's one dog back there. There's a black dog back there.
Where's the dog? Okay.
I thought the interesting part is that those donkeys that were carrying me must be their total possessions.
You're right.
Here we are up in the Carpathians. a flock of sheep down here. You can hear them. Meh. This little village that we drove through. Here's the entrance to our cave. Here we are in the bear cave. Discovered in 1975 when a dynamite explosion opened a hole in the roof of it.
Please try to avoid this because it's been freshly painted.
That's the smell.
Yeah, that's the smell, yeah.
Katie, the bones, when they say the bear cave, there were bears in here originally?
Yes, yes, yes.
So how did they get in and out? Where was the entrance? These are little...
It's a species that has been extinct now for several thousands of years. What you have here
Oasele însă din această peșteră au vechiime de peste 750 de ani.
the bones here, according to the research, are older than 17,000 years.
Atunci, din cauza unei alunecări de teren care a blocat accesul natural al peșterii, au rămas închiși 140 de uși.
And it was then because of, are we together?
Spune pentru că se formează la fiecare reflector o altă vertificatoare de lampă.
We need to turn off the light because if not, around each of these spots there's a very strong perturbation of the flora, and it is there. It seems that they have eaten each other in the process of trying just to survive, and there was only one left that we found intact and lying down, and we've been able to reconstitute all the fragments. Look at that! Look at that!
They need calcium, and of course, a lot of the animals will eat the bones.
Yeah. Isn't it something?
So I think this is the frumoasă a peșterii.
What you have seen so far has been just a very poor-looking tunnel. The real cave starts now. This is the meeting point of the three galleries. This is the Emil Rakovica Hall, we call it. We'll see it twice.
În dreapta prin galeria față de noastră, prin galeria lumânărilor.
We will get out this way.
Okay,
when
we're at that spot.
Yes.
Yeah, we are already in the...
I can go on. Question, Katie.
Yes, sir.
Are we going up?
Cât de tare urcăm?
Nu se urcă, se merge...
No, it's almost horizontal.
Cel mai mult urcăm 4 trepte.
The most will be 4 steps. Which compared to Emmanuel,
Aceste peșteri sunt lăsate la
I thought that was a
imaginația
shawl hanging
vizitatorului.
from the ceiling.
Eu o să vă arăt în continuare doar câteva formațiuni care au primit
Slide
denumiri
back.
sugestive. Vă rog.
Look at that. Look at all those little fine ones, stalactites. Just like little threads hanging from the ceiling everywhere.
Cum intrăm într-o țară a poveștilor, pentru copii Casa Piticilor.
And now we enter into what we have called here
Casa
the
Piticilor.
children's castle. It's a children's land. We have called it the dwarfs village.
O claie sau o căpiță de fâninsă.
We have here some haystacks with a lot of snow on
Un
them.
pom acoperit cu zăpadă acolo la balcon.
Then we have a pine tree up there, the upper gallery.
Din partea asta privit Moș Crăciun cu sacul în spate.
And here we have also Santa Claus. We have Santa Claus here moving from home to home with his sack.
În această zonă o să vă rog să priviți din nou tavanul peșterii.
And here it's again the case to look up at the wonderful ceiling, very elaborate. Please look at the right.
Pe tavan în această zonă sunt acele macarone sau stalactite de tip macarone goale prin interior.
What you see here, these strings, they are just like macaroni. They are hollow.
Depășesc în unele locuri 280 pe metru pătrat.
And there are places where there are more than 280 per square meter. Chris, look at that. Look at that. And it's called the column of infinite.
Fecioara Maria cu pruncul în brațe.
This is Pieta on the right.
Acolo unde se află Domnul se vede mai bine. Că trebuie să găsim distanță și unghi de privire. Așa, acum dacă priviți. De aici.
Pieta. The right. He's indicating it.
Un preot care se închină în fața altarului în stânga sau spatele dumneavoastră.
A priest that you barely see kneeling down before the altar right there. Mă întreb ce descrie deodată înainte de 89. 21 feet high. 21 feet tall.
Called Vlad the Impaler. Here, look. If you look at where this is, see, there's the eyes, the mouth. He's got this tall hat on him, and there's his beard below it.
Și are și, se spune și despre... Registreze sunetul pe care l auziți dumneavoastră acum. Deci nu pe mine să mă...
Try to record, no, don't film him. Try to record the sound.
Poate să filmeze zona asta
You can record here.
Liniștea să fie deplină și
We need
înregistrarea...
to make perfect silence. Fantastic.
Acum aparatul mergeți înainte.
Fantastic.
Din cauza balustrăzilor, atenție, sunt...
It's what you see here is a place, is a room that has a lot more colors due to the copper, the zinc, the lead, and other minerals that you see scattered everywhere.
Originalul e rezervația științifică. Totuși, acum, până vine unul din spate, filmează pe domnul cu camera ce mai aproape de noi.
Chris, would you be so kind to go closer?
Mai văzut. Dar mai sus să filmeze?
Yeah,
aproximativ.
that's it.
Și mai în stânga.
And a bit to the left.
I'm not sure. I'm on it, but I'm not sure I see what.
Yeah.
Nu, dacă vine mai în stânga puțin. Unde
Come
sunt?
a bit
La unde
to the
sunt
left.
eu aici?
Come a bit to the left.
Nu,
So
să
where
vină
the guy
domnul
is.
cu camera mai în stânga puțin.
He could step to the
Așa,
left.
de aici. Așa. Acum.
Okay.
Between the paws he had 5 feet, not 5 feet, I'm sorry.
Span.
3 metri 600, asemănător cu grizzly. Acum dacă veniți să vă uitați pe cameră, o secundă.
So here you have the bride and the groom and the priest in the chapel. Stunning.
Este vorba despre o poveste. În 1975, în aici, legenda spune că el s-a întâlnit în acest loc
It's
un
like at
urs
your
care
altar
mai trăia
in the Romania chapel.
He wants to tell us the story of the guy that entered first in the cave.
Spune, ursul văzându-l s-a speriat, a încercat să fugă din peșteră afară, a reușit să scape cu capul și cu labelerii în față, așa? Fără să spune.
So the story goes that when Curta entered this cave in 75, there was still a bear here that got so scared that he wanted to run away. He successfully got out his head and the upper paws. The rest of the bear is still hanging there.
Watch out for the railing, David.
So it's only the behind and the two paws and his tail that are hanging from the ceiling. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that. How can minerals be so vaporous?
Tu faci și pipi pe tine. Tu faci și pipi pe tine de bucurie. Așa-i? 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 Băcăcel, 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 băcăcel.